His heart was in the right place. His head was in the right place. But as he stated, it was worse than he ever imagined. Well, imagine it now. He's now been the president of the United States, completely banned from social media. This is breaking, ladies and gentlemen. President Trump has now been permanently suspended off of all major social media platforms. Facebook, Instagram, all of his merchandise is no longer allowed to be sold anywhere. And Twitter has just released a statement on the permanent suspension of President Donald Trump, stating this: after close review of recent tweets from Donald Trump account and the context around them, specifically how they are being received and interpreted on and off Twitter, we have permanently suspended the account due to the risk of further incitement of violence. Now think about what that's saying. Oh, if you misread someone's message on a tweet, then they should get banned for it. Well, my gosh. Imagine if that applied universally. And then they say, in context of the horrific events this week, no, not of all the terror and rioting and destruction we saw the summer of 2020, but the tiny little property damage that we saw during the Capitol. And then sadly, the police, honestly, Trump supporters saved multiple police officers' life on January 6th. Nobody will talk about that. One lady got executed, so there were horrific events. But again, how about the dozens of people that died at the hands of Black Lives Matter and Antifa? Nobody talks about that. That's allowed. And so they said that Trump had violations of Twitter rules that would potentially result in the very course of action causing violence. So again, they're just saying, oh, anything Trump does causes violence, even though they go on the news every night and lie and lie and lie and lie. $2.2 billion property damage in the summer of 2020. No, that's perfectly fine. They then say the two tweets that got him banned were as follows. This is incredible. The 75 million great American patriots who voted for me, America first, and make America great again will have a giant voice long into the future. They will not be disrespected or treated unfairly in any way, shape, or form. They said that was against the rules. Then he tweeted, to all those who have asked, I will not be going to the inauguration on January 20th. They say that's suspendable. They go on, and then they have an assessment. The determination for the permanent ban of President Trump is based on these factors. President Trump's statements that he will not be attending the inauguration is being received by a number of his supporters as further confirmation that the election was not legitimate, and is seen as him disavowing his previous claims made via his two tweets about an orderly transmission. Wow. I mean, now they're just reading into it whatever they want. So President Trump could say peace and love on earth, and Twitter could say, people are saying that this means Trump really wants war and just called for the murder of innocent people, so we have to suspend Trump. That's our context around peace and love. What? The second tweet may also serve as encouragement to those potentially considering violent acts at the inauguration would be a safe target as he will not be attending. That's him trying to do the opposite. That's him saying, I'm not going, so you don't go. I reported on that earlier. So now a total concocted twist of the president's meaning there. The use of the words American patriots to describe some of his supporters is also being interpreted as support for those committing violent acts at the U.S. Capitol. Man, what? The mention of his supporters having a giant voice long into the future and that they will not be disrespected or treated unfairly in any way, shape, or form is being interpreted as further indication that President Trump does not plan to facilitate an orderly transition, and instead that he plans to continue to support, empower, and shield those who believe he won the election. So now Twitter says the President of the United States does not get free speech, and we interpret his speech, and we censor his speech. Plans for future armed protests have already begun proliferating on and off Twitter, including proposed secondary attack on the U.S. Capitol and state Capitol buildings on January 17, 2021. So again, this is just going to piss people off more. We'll see how the president takes this, but this is only going to anger people. So now President Trump has officially been suspended off Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, all the merchant accounts that sell his merchandise, banning him from selling it. Wow. Full-on assault against the president, and it's all because he gave them an inch. President Trump gave them an inch with his concession speech, and now they're taking everything. and all of his advisors that told him to play nice are responsible for this. And Trump, his heart was in the right place, his head was in the right place, but as he stated, it was worse than he ever imagined. Well, imagine it now. He's now been the president of the United States, completely banned from social media.
3, 2, 1.
Here we go.
It's back in stock.